Hello, welcome to another video. My name is Janice LaRoche, a stamping nana, and I wanted to just do this again. This will be the second time. My first video cut off at 4 minutes and 23 seconds for some reason, and I apologize for that. So let's give it another go. Okay, we're going to make this Ho 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 for the Rolo's, and I will get right to it and tell you everything that you need. Okay, you need a 4 1/8 by 6 1/4 piece of cardstock, and I'm using real red. You will need a smaller piece for your topper on your bag, and this measures 2 1/8 by 2 1/2, and I have folded it in half at 2 1/4 or 1 1/4. Then you'll need a little piece of DSP. You can use scrap DSP or you can use whatever. And this measures 2 1/4 by 1. Right. And then you will need, of course, your bone folder to score a burnish. You might need a pokey tool. I don't know. You'll need 3 Rolo's, a ruler, and a pen. You'll need some glue dots and your tear and tape, your big shot to cut out your H's for the Ho Ho Ho's, and you will need your layering alphabet edgelet dies. I write on mine because the D and the B's and the P's kind of confused me, so it was easier to just write which letters were which on the things, because they were hard to tell backwards. When you're cutting out, it's like backwards, and it's like, okay, so I just found it easier to write with a permanent marker on each letter. So the layering alphabet edgelet dies, and I am going to do that in a few minutes. So let's put all this aside and get started here. Right, so first of all, what I did was I took my trimmer scorer and I scored at 3/8, 1 7/8, 2 1/4, and 3 3/4, and that was my score lines. Then what else did I do? That is it right now. Okay, then I needed you to mark at on this line here or close to it on the first score line. Mark just with a pen and a little dot 1 1/2, 3 1/2, and 5 1/2. And what I did too is you can use a post-it note, and you know it's got a little bit sticky on it. You can cut one out. You don't need two, just one will be fine, and use that. If you don't have a sticky post-it note, I used my grid paper on this. And I like it because you can do the grid in the center, the line in the center, and line up your things perfectly. And if you don't have the sticky note, like I said, you can use grid paper. And I just put some two-way glue on here a while ago and just let it set. And so that just makes it non-permanent. So if you did it right away, it would be permanent. So it would peel off. So you just need it a little bit sticky to be on here. And then I took my tear and tape and I laid it across the bottom. So let me flip this over and I'll show you. So here's my 3 lines, like I told you, dots, like I told you, at 1 1/2, 3 1/2, and 5 1/2, and my tear and tape. But before I take my tear and tape off, let me do my punches. Oh, did I say you needed a 1-inch punch? I left it here to the side and didn't say that you needed it. And a stapler. I think that was it. Alright, so now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take at this line and center it above, about right there. And then cut out my 1 circle. All right, and you can either do 3 or just 1 and just peel it off like I'm doing. All right, so now we will do the second one. So this would be your center point of your circle. So you try and just center as best you can. You need to come down just a tad there. That'll work. And then cut or punch. Peel that off. And we'll do the third one. That looks good. And we'll punch right there. Right, so that is all done there. You can put that aside now. Now I can peel off my tear tape. And I've already folded this all up, so all you have to do now is line it up, and yeah, should do. No, it's a little bit off here, but it'll work. It will work. Okay, now let me put that aside, and I'll see if I can grab my Big Shot and get it as much into the picture as I can. Now, all I did here was I took some of my paper that I needed, and this is my H, and I'm going to line it up with this on the edge, right there, so I don't have to cut anything. Or close enough to the edge. If you have to cut a little bit, it's okay. Right, and then just run it through your Big Shot. Alrighty. And take that off. And put it aside. Now, that's what you get. It just cuts your H off if you do it right on the edge. Right? So now I have 4 H's. I already did them before. I just wanted to show you the one. So just keep one of these for my next one. And set that aside. So you can do one right next to it as well. I actually got 3 out of one thing across on this little piece of paper. So it goes a long way. You only need a little bit for the H. So now all I'm going to do is I took my glue dots already for time, and I put a glue dot on the bottom of my Rolo's, and I'm going to pop them right in here. Right? Doesn't have to be perfect, just stick them in there. They're going to be held in with the bag. If you want to skip that step, that would be fine. Oh yes, I forgot. I need glue. Need some liquid glue. You can use whatever glue you like best, but this is my go-to glue. And I'm going to line my H up close to my O. And again, don't need a lot of glue, just a tad, just to hold it on there. Let's line that up. Oh, geez. And of course you need a bag as well. A 2x8 little poly bag from Stampin' Up. They're awesome things. I've made so much stuff, and candy things, and put them in there, and dog treats and dog bones, and sold them at craft fairs. So yeah, this is another easy one, and it's quick and inexpensive. You get a whole bunch of Rolo's in a bag, and you only need 3 per. So okay, then you take your bag, and let's see if it will be nice to me, and slip your Ho 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 little box into it, and slide it in, push it down. Now if you think this is too long, you can trim it off, and I think it is, so I'm going to trim it a little off. And then I'm going to take my topper and glue my Christmas paper on here. It's a brilliant way to use up your scraps as well, because you don't really need a lot of DSP, just a tiny little bit. Alright, squish that down. There. And then we're just going to put that in there, and we're going to staple this little, that's a circle punch. I can't staple with that, can I? Right. Grab it about in the middle, staple, and staple. Right, and there it is. How easy is that? It is so easy to make. I hope you give it a shot. Send me your pictures. I'd love to see them. I think that's it. If you need any of the products I've used, check out my website. I will have all the products listed on my blog as well, and all the measurements for you in case you missed them on the video, because I was a little fast. All right, I appreciate you watching, and you have a great evening. Good night.